Okay, you can park it with a remote control. Welcome to the 7th generation BMW 5 Series.
The 5 Series story starts back in 1972 when E12 replaced the Neue Klasse. At first, the 5 Series was offered with 4-cylinder engines, 6 cylinders came a year later. The most powerful M535i had around 215 horsepower, 3.5 liters, spoilers, Recaro seats, limited slip diff, bigger brakes. In 1981, second generation E28 was introduced, again 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder petrol engines, and 2 years later the first diesel 5 Series was introduced. E28 was also the first 5 Series with the center console tilted towards the driver, and for the first time optional ABS was available. In 1985 the first M5 debuted. Third generation, codename E34, had novelties like traction control, 6-speed manual gearbox and adaptive suspension. This generation also featured the first station wagon 5 Series and an all-wheel drive model. A V8 engine was also introduced, but M5 still had a 6-cylinder engine. A V8 landed under the bonnet of E39 M5. 4th generation 5 Series was on sale since late 1995. Engineers focused on chassis stiffness, which meant some extra weight. This was partially offset by aluminium elements of the suspension. For the first time, 5 Series was given a rack and pinion steering. 5th generation 5 Series was called E60. This is the first 5 Series to feature iDrive infotainment system, head-up display, adaptive cruise control, active steering, lane departure warning. This was a true 21st century car. For the first time, 5 Series had a turbocharged petrol engine, while the M5 had a V10 under the bonnet. 6th generation, called F10, debuted in 2010. There was also a 5 Series GT, a strange car which offers functionality of an estate, SUV and limousine all in one. I like it, by the way. The next one is going to be called 6 Series GT apparently. As far as 5 Series is concerned, it featured among others a hybrid drivetrain.
45 years and almost 8 million examples sold later, we have the 7th generation, which can be operated with a Motorola StarTAC-sized remote control or a mobile app. On the day of filming, the Android app has not yet been released, but I am told it's going to be launched any day now. Meanwhile, let's take a peek inside. It's unbelievable how BMW interiors have evolved since 2010. It's been a while since I sat in a 5 Series, so I forgot that the F10 had its display still integrated within the center console. And just a year later, the F33 series was released, and that, sorry, that's the gesture control. Oh, don't get me started. Anyway, the F33 series, which debuted just a year later, 2011 I think it was, it had this tablet-like contraption, which some of you, I know, you don't like it. Why? I don't know. My problem is this. I like to talk with my hands, like an Italian, huh?
Although the new 5 Series features new or improved driver aids, which prepare the BMW driver for automated driving future, iDrive in its current form has hit a wall and, in my opinion, should be replaced. It's not about available functions. Like in other cars, I can surf the internet, check the weather, news, navigate around traffic jams. BMW also lets me set the temperature above which my seats will be automatically ventilated, below which they will be heated, the same with the heated steering wheel. All these settings can be saved within a driver profile.
It's the iDrive interface I have a problem with. This iDrive knob is almost 15 years old. Sure, the system has evolved during this time, it's now touch sensitive and everything, but I think that the tablet raised generation of startup millionaires will prefer a BMW touch controlled spaceship. They don't care about steering feel because they know it from a game console. They will want connectivity and they will want a familiar interface. And BMW lacks in the interface department.
On the practicality front, for this big a car, BMW 5 Series has poor storage. Door pockets are small, glove box is small, storage under the armrest is small, and it's even worse in the back. I get it, this is not a mom car, but two people will have trouble stowing their phones, sunglasses and keys.
I'm very happy you sat through my moaning, because this is where the positives begin. First of all, steering. If you want something better, you'll have to dish out a lot more for a Porsche. Recently I drove a Jaguar XF, which has boat-like steering compared to the 5 Series. Here, steering is direct and only tightens as you turn, exactly the opposite of the Jag. It's a 5-meter long limousine, and it feels like you're driving a go-kart, only with better sound insulation and much better suspension.
Because the suspension is excellent. This car has an optional M Sport pack on it, which costs around €6,000. Besides different rim design, it gives you things like Sport automatic gearbox, Sport M steering, aero pack. There is also an optional dynamic damper control system. Basically, BMW 5 Series passengers glide in comfort, while mere mortals have to endure a rough ride over bumps in their cheap cars.
And then there is the soundproofing. This car comes with acoustic windscreen and an acoustic headliner. They make you forget you're driving a 6-cylinder, 340 horsepower car. Actually, you can barely hear the exhaust even in Sport Plus mode. Time from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 4.8 seconds. Regardless of the speed, BMW 540i is ready to pounce. Well, no wonder, it's got 450 Newton meters of torque. I like the moment when the back lowers and you're pushed into the seat. And by the way, in sport mode, the side bolsters tighten. It's a nice feeling.
This test example has ENG drive. With this sort of power, all-wheel drive is a good thing. Traction control has less work on slippery surface. But if you want to fool around in the snow, the car still has rear-wheel bias. BMW offers the 5 Series with things like adaptive cruise control. With driving support, you can take your hands off the wheel for a couple of seconds, but not for as long as in an Audi or a Mercedes-Benz. I like the large color head-up display. It makes driving with sat-nav easier. I also like the car informs the driver not just about the current speed limit, but also about the next one. So, as you're approaching it, you also see this lift-off icon on the display. We've seen something like this before in Audi.
Low drag coefficient of just 0.22, and such suggestions are supposed to help you as a driver to get better fuel economy. In real life, it's not that easy. I took the car on a 100 kilometers plus trip, and there were motorways, there was some city driving and some back roads. I started with over 11 liters per 100 kilometers, and after over 100 kilometers I got it down to just below 10. I get it. You have 6 cylinders, 340 horsepower, the car weighs over 1700 kilograms, it's got all-wheel drive, but BMW claims 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers combined. I don't think so.
I mentioned insufficient storage in the front. In the back, there isn't any. You get two rather complicated cup holders. Legroom is unimpressive. You get more in a Jaguar XF, Mercedes-Benz E-Class or Volvo S90, even though they all have shorter wheelbases. At 530 liters, the boot is on par with Audi A6, slightly smaller than in Mercedes-Benz E-Class. There are also a couple of cubbies to store basic tools and a first aid kit, perhaps some small shopping as well. There is literally one hook to secure a shopping bag, and there are handles to fold the rear seats. Good.
Do you recall the Alfa Romeo commercial with Catherine Zeta-Jones slithering through the back of a blocked 156 Sportwagen? I reckon I could do a Zeta-Jones quicker, albeit less sexy, then I can unpark the car with this remote control. How about an experiment? The stopwatch starts as soon as I press any button on the remote.
On the left, I unlock the remote, find the parking function on the touchscreen, meanwhile, on the right, I took my shoes off, I open the boot and I'm folding the back seat. On the left, the remote control is connecting to the car and it will start the engine anytime now. On the right, I have to unlock the door, shut the boot lid and start the car. Reversing now. And stop the clock.
I concede technology has beaten a fat presenter.
Remote parking costs €500, but you also have to buy Parking Assist Plus for €1,000, Comfort Access for €1,000, Multifunction Key for €250, Ambient Lighting, why, for €250, Wireless Charging for €100. All this adds up to about $3,000. And there's plenty more options on this car. Your basic 520D with a manual transmission starts at $45,000. 540i X-Drive starts at $60,000. Add some options and you end up with an almost €90,000 car. And how do you like the new 5 Series? Let me know in the comment section below. Share, rate, subscribe. New episodes every Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.